Hey folks, Sam here at NA Studios. I've just this second got my hands on a new Slate Digital Transient Shaper. I want to take a look at it, take a look at some of the features and see how it works on a few different types of tracks. I've not even opened it yet, so let's take a look together. So in the dynamics section, I'm assuming, yeah, Transient Shaper. Let's drag that across. Okay, lovely yellow. I've got this on a kind of a parallel channel that I usually use Bomber for to get like some more punch. It's going to be kind of similar to that sort of sound, what I'm using Bomber for, but it's not necessarily going to be the same kind of plugin. So let's just take a look. So we've got transient and then we've got warmth. We've got a saturation knob there as well. That's interesting. Okay, so it seems like it's kind of like a multi-band thing, which is cool. And then sustain, we've got that. All right, so it's not that it's multi-band, it's just that we can tune the band, so we can say we don't want the transient to be focused on the low end, we just want it to be kind of somewhere in the middle maybe. That's cool. And then down the bottom we've got time, we've got listen, okay, we've got makeup gain and mix, and then a safety for a clipper. Okay, that's cool. Right, let's just shove some drums into it and see what happens. Damn. That's pokey. Okay, so it's saturating things as well. So let's try and add some transient attack to the top end and then maybe some on the low end. Let's maybe bring the sustain up just for a bit of difference. Okay. So before that, okay, nice. That's adding some real attack to that kick drum. Let's take a look at this time knob. So what are we on? The transient, sustain, or out? Okay, so we can kind of control how long the transient is, how long the sustain is. And okay, so does that change if I turn that up and then go to listen to the sustain? Okay, so time is generally like a global control. Okay, let's listen to the sustain then. Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay, so time is making the transient super sharp, as opposed to that, which is a bit more natural. Wow. Okay, so it's like an overall kind of time control and overall length control for both of them, it seems like. We can really get some crack out of that. Let's bring that in with the whole mix. Whoa, we are clipping like crazy. Let's go for safety clip. Okay, if I bring that down just slightly. True peak and all that. No, still clipping. Do I have anything else in that channel? I do, but that's just my old stuff. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't want to stop it clipping, but whatever. Let's see what that sounds like in the mix. Let's bring it out and then bring it in and see what it's doing to the drums. Whoa, crazy. Let's bring it all the way down and then just bring it up gradually. Okay, so instant clicky punch. Let's go the other way. Let's try and just get loads of sustain out of this. So let's bring down the transient information on the top stuff. Solo that, that's cool. Okay, so we're just trying to get the tails here then. Okay, so I kind of like to use these in two different ways. If you have two lots of transient shaping buses, you can have one that's got the real click, the real attack, and then one that's got all the sustain as well. Bring them together, you've got something cool. So we've got the latter here, we've got just the sustain. Let's try and bring that up in the track and see if it adds some kind of life, some body to the track. Nice. So without it, that's cool. I like that. So we can do two things there. We can have it as a real transient rich thing, just the attack, or we can have the complete opposite, which is very, very cool. I like that we can focus it on different bands. That's kind of cool. And especially in the first example where you can just make it so the top end is kind of nice and clicky. That's really interesting. Let's leave that on for now and let's try it on a full mix. Incidentally, we have a new HQ knob oversampling in Virtual Mix Rack, which is cool. I'm not going to go into that one now. Okay, let's try and get a bit more punch. Just lower it down. Oh, hello. Let's take that transient emphasis off and just bring up the sustain, because that sounds cool on the master. Okay, so regardless of whether I'm bringing up the transients or not, it's still kind of saturating those transients. That's interesting. Let's bring that off just for now and just work on the sustain. Okay, I like that. That's fun. So that's adding some real body to the entire mix. I'm pretty certain they're not intending for this to be used on a full mix, but why not? It adds some sustain, adds some life, adds some body. That's kind of cool. Let's have a look. Let's get that off for a start. Let's have a look what else we've got here. We've got some bass here. I reckon that's going to sound cool on bass. Let's take a listen. Okay. Let's trash all that. Just bring the Transient Shaper on. So it sounds kind of wobbly in the bottom end. So let's try bringing that sustain down for that low end. And let's try and bring the transients up a touch in that low end as well. Okay, it's got a bit more definition. I'm not sure this is doing as much as I'm wanting it to. Maybe if we shorten this down. Okay, so we're adding a little bit more, yeah, kind of a little bit more pick attack there, I guess. Okay, so bass maybe not quite as impactful as the drums or on the full mix. Let's try some guitars now though, because this kind of shaping can be really good for bringing out some of the pick attack in a guitar track if it just gets like a little bit washy. Let's see what it can do. Okay, I've got like a side chain there. I'm going to take that off for the time being. Okay. So it doesn't seem like this is as effective on stuff that isn't already transient in the first place. Let's try it on the sustain. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so the sustain works better on the guitar than I think the transient section does, But as I said, I think that's because it's not really that transient in the first place, so it can't really kind of get all that transient. Maybe if we try putting trimmer beforehand and then afterwards as well, let's add like, I don't know, 8 dB and then 8 dB taken away at the end. See if we can give it like a little bit more signal to work with. Whoa, okay. Let's bring that down and let's start from scratch. But I guess I'm kind of clipping that now, so it's not really able to be as effective. No, not really got a massive difference there. Okay, so guitars, maybe not quite as good as on a full mix or with the drums punching through. Let's try it on a synth. Let's see how it works on a synth. So this is kind of, well, it's called gelato synth. I don't really know what that means, but it's a gelato synth. Let's take a listen to what we can do with it. Interesting. Without it. Adding a bit more attack. I like that. Let's bring up some sustain. Just in the lows. Without it. Loads more attack. Whoa, crazy. So although those meters aren't really reading much, it's clear that it's doing something. It's audible, but it's not kind of visible on there. That's interesting. I think what I can take from this is that it's very much designed for drums. It's very much designed for percussive stuff because it doesn't seem to be doing quite as much to the guitars or it's doing stuff to the synth, but the guitars, it really wasn't improving, but it wasn't bad on it either. On the full mix, the sustain was cool, bringing up everything in the low end and kind of adding some overall something sustain to it, I guess. Drums was super cool. I can see that being very, very useful. I can see that a lot of these kind of plugins, when you have transient designers, transient shapers, they're all kind of built off that same idea of the kind of original, you know, the transient designer. And bringing up the attack on drums is where that was always useful and where it kind of always sat in people's mix chains. So these things are going to be designed to kind of work around drums and around percussion. So I think that's really where it's going to sit. But I'm going to give this a try on a few more things and see how I get on. Let me know what you're trying it on. Let me know what you like it on. Let me know if you like it, and if you do, why. I'll see you again soon. Take care.